I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear podcast.
Music Explored.
Explored, brought to you today by Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com. Ow!
Hello.
Your jazz lesson
Hello,
needs.
who are you?
Peter, today we're talking about an album that inspired so many. It inspired me to wear some cologne.
Oh, I get it. It's actually pronounced Köln.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, it's been anglicized as Cologne, but
I thought it was Cologne. Okay, well, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Oh, it was recorded and released in 1975. I think you nailed it with the voice there. Was that? Are we on AM radio? What's going on?
Yeah, I thought this was like a Cologne concert, and I was like, groovy.
I guess technically it is, but this is Keith Jarrett's The Köln Concert.
I've heard of that. Classy.
Yeah. What's not classy is if you're on the YouTubes, you can see this.
You know what is not classy is that
I couldn't find my LP of this.
It's actually possible that Keith Jarrett could see this, and I regret doing what I just did about his great best-selling album of all time.
Man, we love Keith Jarrett here. This is going to be exciting because this record, this is one of the most lore-filled,
for sure,
storied records ever made, and it's also the best-selling solo piano record ever. Over 4 million copies.
Incredible.
4X platinum. We don't use the word platinum a lot when we're talking about piano or jazz.
No.
I mean, is this even a jazz record? We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
But we don't use the word platinum because we usually use like ruby or diamond-L or whatever, like for every 10,000 copies.
10,000?
Is that exactly? Sorry. 10,
wow,
10,
are you a millionaire?
Yeah. But yeah, platinum is 1 million copies, and this is 4X, which is really crazy.
It's insane.
For as thoughtful and insightful as a record, that's 4 LPs, 4 songs, none of which are called Autumn Leaves or Embraceable
The titles
You.
alone are like, they don't exactly scream hit album.
Köln, or as you say, Cologne, Drakkar Noir.
Drakkar Noir, 1975.
January 24th, 1975, part 1. That's the first track. We're about to listen to it, and it's 26 minutes long.
That's catchy as hell as a title.
But what a document. This is the digital booklet that I downloaded.
So it's funny because it's like, that's a very
Spotify.
ECM title, right? I think ECM has this sort of reputation of like taking jazz and putting it almost like in the way that you might frame like a classical concert, right? And that's how a modern classical concert would be framed as well. But interesting too, because it's, this is all improvised, right? It's
entirely, encore, maybe not.
Maybe not the encore, but for the most part, all improvised solo piano, and the whole thing doesn't scream like, this is going to be a big hit record in 1975, but lo and behold, it sure was.
Yeah, it absolutely was, and continues to sell really well, streams a lot, all that kind of stuff. And of course, Keith Jarrett's solo at the piano, Manfred Eicher, ECM Records, the founder, produced this. Martin Weiland, the engineer. We're going to kind of talk about how this was recorded in the piano, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of just jump in. And so we can kind of start to discover as we go, or try to figure out like why this record was so successful. Because it's definitely not like, there's nothing screaming here. Like you say, it's very like, come on in if you want, but there's no flashy sign saying, waterbed. Remember like the hotels used to be like, put 25 cents in the waterbed.
Pete, what kind of hotels are you going to, man?
1975. We never went in. We drove by them, my family. But
1975. Turtlenecks and waterbeds.
Right. I was 4 years old, by the way.
No,
I don't think you were born.
I think I've fashioned that voice to this album because it does have a very like Euro 1975 artistic. It's 11:30 at night and we're going to a friggin' concert. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
My St. Louis heart breaks at that.
Right.
I got to be in bed by 9. You know what I mean? The cows got to be fed in the morning. And it just feels...
that you're exaggerating, but I got you.
No, am I? But it just feels very like continental. Continental, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, side note, do you want to meet on Sunday morning for a continental breakfast?
I love a continental.
Let's do that. I know a German place out in West County.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna jump into this just to frame this. 1975 January, Cologne. So it's gonna be cold. Köln, sorry. And I think this was on like a Monday night or something crazy, but it was at the Opera House. It was not, the Philharmonie is one of the most beautiful venues, modern as in 70s, that I've actually played there a couple of times. I always thought it was there. Yeah. It was actually at the Opera House, which is already weird because they were doing an opera before this. And so.
Like that night.
No, that evening, like at 8 o'clock. And so the only time that they could schedule this concert and that he was available, the concert started at 11:30 p.m., which is weird for an opera house, weird for a solo jazz pianist. The whole thing was kind of weird. But legendary promoter Vera Brandes was only 18 years old. That's weird, too. The promoter's 18. Sold the show out for Deutsche Mark.
Yeah, just to back up a little bit, the promoter of this show is an 18-year-old woman named Vera Brandes. There's actually a movie, a German film coming out this year.
Yeah, this week.
About this week. About this concert. I wish we could watch it before recording this episode, but we'll definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
I think it's on Apple TV Plus.
No, it's not on anything yet.
It's not on anything yet.
It's in like select theaters.
But it's all about Vera and putting on this concert and the sort of like the follies that went on in trying to put this on.
Yeah, it looks super interesting. But famously, the piano was subpar. I never knew about this, but that it was a Bosendorfer. I remember hearing about it was, but he was supposed to be a Bosendorfer Imperial Grand, which is weird too, because, all the times I saw Keith later on, he always played a Steinway. In fact, he was notoriously picky about wanting to have an American Steinway.
He would bring it with him, wouldn't he?
I don't think so.
Tour with a Steinway? I heard he toured across Europe with a Steinway.
Could be. Certainly could be. But at this time, he was playing Asford and the Bosendorfer, the 290, the big one, the 10-footer.
With the extra keys?
With the extra keys.
Damn.
And what they gave him was like a rehearsal piano that happened to be at it's an opera house. So they have those. It was a Bosendorfer who was smaller than that one, a baby grand.
No, like the Bosendorfer we play on the intro.
Yeah. But I mean, subpar to that. They had to bring in tuners. Vera had to work her magic.
I mean, we don't even use ours we use the Steinway here.
I know,
That's crazy.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I always heard it was subpar. I didn't realize how subpar it was.
Sounds good to me, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Keith Jarrett can make anything sound great.
And so we're going to jump in and just listen to a little bit. Well, we're going to get started on part one. But think about the piano, and then also this initial theme. As we were preparing for this, you noted something that I never really noticed. There's a little bit of laughter.
Yeah, right as he starts.
And apparently that's because the first theme that he plays, and there's a little bit of controversy or just misrecollection from several folks that were there. Some people said it was the little bells. It was the melody from the bells. At a classical concert hall that they play when it's time
Concert's
to go
about to start. We're gonna ring
little
the
handshake,
bells.
little
handshake.
Little handshake, yeah. Doom, 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 doom. But then apparently Keith said, no, I don't remember that at all. And somebody else said, no, it was like a clock tower outside that was doing a certain chime that he picked up on. But it was something that people recognized that Keith didn't even think about.
Interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, should we jump in?
Let's do it.
Do we need to douse ourselves with Drakkar Noir, or are we in the mood now?
Beautiful.
Simple melody. Groove's already there, right? Or the pulse. I love that. Tense. Okay, I want to pause here just because although this is like a 26-minute track, I think, and it's definitely, as Keith talked about, and Manfred and other folks that were there, and just knowing what his process was at this time, it was just sit down, stream of consciousness, improvise in the moment. But he's already framing some like kind of sections, and that's sort of the end of that's one way of looking at it.
It's the first theme.
It's the first theme, and he's kind of developed it, and like harmonically, he set the mood, the textures there and all that. But now we're going to kind of either move on to developing or something. But one of the great things about this record, and if you like this kind of stuff, if you're one of the 4 million plus that has purchased this bad boy, is that there's so many different ways. Like, it was just created in the moment, right? And Keith has talked about this in interviews many times, that it is about what is in the air, what are the people, what is the sound, like, is there a chime that goes off right before he starts? It's entirely something for that moment to be consumed by the humans that are there. He talks about the door. Well, actually, you know what? Let's listen to what Keith says about this.
Once I walk out on stage, supposedly everybody's there. The doors close. And this is a very private event. And it's only taking place in that space. The privilege of having recordings is that other people can know what happened in the space, but I disagree with anybody who says that they can give you exactly what happened in the space. It's always bigger live.
Yeah, so we have this incredible document, this recording, and like so many more, a million X more people have experienced this through the recording that were there at the time. But it does beg the question of like, yes, it's not the same as being there, but man, it's got to be pretty close, right? Because we can listen to it again. We can like feel it in a different way. We can come back to it at a different point in our life. I mean, I remember when I first heard this when I was I didn't hear this record actually real early, but I was probably like, I don't know, 16 or 17 or something like that. But now the way I listen to it, now like the notes are the same, the moment was the same, but we live with this forever if we want.
Yeah, and we have. It's just a different experience. I would imagine if we were going to this concert tonight, right? You and I were in Köln. We got on Cologne, and we're going to we have to put on a lot of cologne.
We have a cigarette with a plastic holder. I don't know why.
Hell yeah. And we're going to this concert. I mean, how many of the melodies are we going to remember next week? You know what I mean? Like, How many of these sections? We're probably going to remember how we felt on the night. Like, I think about my favorite concerts of all times that I went to live. I don't really remember a lot of the music. You know what I mean? I don't remember what Benny Green played with the trio with Hutch and McBride a couple of years ago. I just remember that whole night that I was there, just sitting in on this incredible feeling. You know what I mean? I remember like certain textures maybe, but I don't remember a thing that Hutch played or a lick or something McBride did. I just remember just feeling transported. And maybe that's me, but I just feel like the live experience it doesn't just like leave you when you leave that room, but the music itself is kind of like secondary to how you feel when you're there and experiencing it. However, a record is different because now we study this, we know these melodies, we steal these melodies. A lot of people do, as we're going to hear, have stolen these vibes. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's because it's on a recording. So I just think it's a different experience. I like what Keith said here. I think it is much, much bigger, and it's just different.
Yeah.
I mean, I for real can remember maybe 5 actual like musical things that have happened. Not just like events that are happening musically, like feels and stuff like that, and big changes or whatever. I remember all that stuff, but like actual what this killing saxophone player did on this thing. Like I just remember feeling like that was killing. You know what I mean? Right.
But you know what? I think that the recollection of being at a concert versus living with the record is in some ways a much deeper and more accurate representation of it. Because like how many times have you... Well, I know for me this happened a lot when I'll be on a game. I'm like, man, that felt so good. Oh, I really feel like I played great there. The saxophone player killed it on that tune. And you're because you have that memory. You don't remember the exact notes. But then you hear a recording back and you're like, oh, actually it was killing, but not at the part that I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like the memories. And just like people that talked about, like Keith didn't even remember hearing, obviously something happened because people were laughing. So he got that melody, but he didn't even remember that or notice it. Like people, and it's not that people are making stories or lying. It's just people's recollections of things that happen in the moment are very different. So when we have a document like this is the LP because I couldn't find my LP at home. I love it so much. This is the digital booklet that I printed out of the record.
Printed it to paper.
I went old school.
Is that black and white? Is that from a Commodore 64? What's going on?
It is black and white. The record's kind of black and white. Great design. We're going to talk about that. But the fact that we have this, like we're able to experience this evening in a way that is so much more accurate, but it's less it could be seen as less visceral.
Yeah, there's no
less connected.
There's
in a
no
way.
stakes.
There's
when
no
you're there
stakes.
in that hall and he's improvising this stuff in front of you live,
Yeah.
there's a ton of stakes.
Right.
It's very risky.
Right. But if we didn't have this recording of this and there was 1,400 people, the concert was sold out, we'd only have those 1,400 people saying, oh my God, this is the most incredible concert ever. But Keith might say like, it was okay, but the Bremen Lausanne was actually better because I heard that record.
Yeah.
And then the people in Stockholm or whatever 3 nights later would be like, oh no, it was great. But like this, we can go back and verify it.
For sure. For sure. No, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I just think I agree with Keith that it's just a totally different experience.
Yeah. Maybe the best is to be there and then to get the record.
I love live music.
Yeah.
And then I love albums too, but I think they're totally different. I think what's so great about improvised music is that it really is the best when it's live. It's like, there's a ton of things like that. Theater, stand-up comedy, and improvised music, specifically jazz. But even like classical music, I think is way better live.
Right.
Way, way better to see the symphony orchestra and everybody playing at the same time in a room with a big audience. I think there's no better feeling than all of that.
But that's interesting because that's a little different because you go into a classical concert, also known as classical. I'm classy. Mm-hmm. You go to that kind of you may go there knowing the repertoire, knowing the notes that are going to be played. You don't know how they're going to be played that evening exactly.
True. Yeah, that's true.
But like there's an anticipation to that is based upon, I can't wait till it gets to the third move. I love the most beautiful part. Is the oboe player on that solo going to really...
It's going to be a little different probably than any recording you've heard, for sure.
Right, but this is like... And maybe you could say, is Keith going to do some vamps? Yes, he probably is.
Maybe.
But I mean, you don't bring, especially in 1975 when, he had a couple of solo improvised records out by this point, but this was the one that really broke through where many, many people would know it. So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting way to look at it. Should we kind of dive through it a little bit more?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I have to try to find exactly where it was, but I think I'm close here. From that first little section that we framed. Okay. So now he's going into something else, right?
Now we're going all Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish on it.
And we're going rubato for the first time, really. Mm-hmm. He was dialed in on that groove.
Dude.
Subtle, but...
Keith has great time.
Yeah. There you can hear a little bit of the deficiencies of the piano. You hear the hammer jumping a little bit in a weird way. Mm-hmm. There. He's using it. He's using it as part of the performance.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get scared of something like that. No. You got to lean into it.
Oh, yes, you can.
Well, you can, but you shouldn't. Just try to lean into it.
Man, his concentration level. Could you imagine if he had a couple guys talking about what he was playing right next to him? Could he have continued on like
again? I hope he's listening and I hope he's loving it.
Okay, so we were talking about what makes this successful, and I hate to turn this off, but we've been getting some comments saying, why are you talking over the music? I'm also like, this is a podcast where we talk about music. This is not a radio station, so we're trying to hit a middle ground, but I get it. It's hard not to just sit here and just listen because it is so great. But when we talk about what makes this record so successful, why did it sell 4 million copies, I don't buy this idea of just like, it was a fluke and it just happened to be, and it came out at the right time. I think what we've heard so far, we're 4 minutes into this record. We talk about the importance of the first track, of how a record starts. Like, we've pretty much listened to flawless piano playing.
Yes.
And whether you know about the difficulties of the instrument or you can hear these little things, which I'm, even after all these years, I'm just now starting to hear, I think if you didn't know about the subpar piano, I don't think you'd ever know. Because it's not subpar piano playing. So he went into this with some restrictions on the tools that he had, but he made a masterpiece.
I mean, Keith Jarrett is famously very particular about everything.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he has this reputation for being very particular about pianos, about halls, about audiences.
About backstage.
About who's talking to him, how they're talking to him.
How many M&Ms?
Color of I don't know about that, but you get a sense. There's actually a great Terry Gross interview with him from years and years ago.
Yeah. We'll link to that. NPR.
Yeah, we'll link to the Terry Gross interview, and you really get a sense of how, I mean, he just cares about the music.
Yes.
In a very serious way. And there are loads of great artists who are like this. And I just think it's like, you are right. If he hadn't made a big deal of this, we wouldn't have been talking about it. Nobody would be talking about the piano or the quality of it because he makes it sound so beautiful. And by the way, so does Manfred Eicher. So does what's the engineer's name?
Mark Wieland.
They make that hall and that piano. I'm sure the hall sounds great on its own. European opera halls are known for sounding amazing. But I'm sure... like
2 of these and that's what
just
it's recorded on.
The Telefunken and a couple of great, So
U67 Neumanns.
Yeah, I mean it's all going to sound good and but for Keith Jarrett, who's very particular about everything, he notices this stuff. He knows,
for sure. And I think too, part of him being particular about the pianos that really. Obviously started after this. There was a point in his career. I mean, he was...
Maybe this triggered it?
Maybe so, right. It's like, what was he, like 29 years old here? He had some clout. He could sell out in Cologne, a mid-sized European city at 11:30 p.m. That's saying something, solo piano. But it wasn't until a little bit later where he would have been like, no. Like where they would have made, like his reputation was to the point where, oh my God, you have to have everything correctly. And I've been around. I mean, I got to see him a couple times live, and like the promoters, people backstage are so nervous, the audience, because his reputation for so many years preceded him, right? So they're like, we don't want to mess anything up. And it wasn't just because they were scared of him. I think to a certain degree.
A little bit.
Well, maybe for them. But I think for Keith, it was always like he recognized how special these moments could be, how special a concert could be.
Sure.
And it's one thing if you're coming in with your set list and you're playing standards with, Gary Peacock and Jack DeJohnette, which he did on mini concerts, where it can be somewhat more relaxed in terms of like, well, we know this is going to be a good show as long as we concentrate and do our thing. Good instruments, good audience. We're going to play some standards, play some jazz, play some tunes. But when you're coming in to create totally from nothing, there's a lot of pressure, solo piano, and not to just go through the motions and fall back on stuff that but to really create an event and a moment, a participatory cultural moment with the audience, especially Andrew doing a live recording on the Telefunken M5. Come on
now.
Yeah. Shall we continue on a little bit?
Continue on.
Let's go. Yeah, so this rubato kind of section bridging.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's just incredible.
It's very simple, totally different kind of sound with his left hand. Using the lines in rubato. Oh, I've always loved that moment.
The first vocalization on the album.
Yeah. Woo. Man, he's really fearless the way he's playing too. Yeah, as you said, a little bit of Spanish flamenco flair to it, we would say. Woo!
Sick.
Open fists and force.
I should learn how to play the piano. You ever think that? Like, I wish I played the piano.
Man, the control, and it's not, I mean, yeah, now you're getting to some speed, the dexterity. Woo. But what he's doing with the left hand is actually equally as hard.
Yeah, it's beautiful tone.
Yeah. And it's just two totally different things. Now he's going to kind of slide into the time.
I mean,
right?
you can't tell me he doesn't love this piano a little bit,
I
though,
know,
too.
I know.
Listen to how he's playing it. It's so joyful. Like,
Yeah.
there's...
He's making his way towards, like, what can I make out of it? And now we got the time, subtle with the left hand. Now he's kicking the pedal, I think, that sustain, I mean, the sostenuto pedal. Almost using it as a percussive device, right?
Almost.
And I think the soft pedal, I should say.
I mean, that
it
is
was
a
apparently
percussive
broken.
device.
It wasn't working.
He might as well have a stomp box.
Yeah. Woo.
What's that? Now that I can do.
Obviously, we're building to something, right? What would you call this stylistically right now?
You know, it's, yeah.
It's almost a rock, right? Like anthemic.
It's like,
anthem rock?
it could be a John Bryan soundtrack,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, we'll talk about all the influences
Yeah.
from this kind of style. I wonder, I don't want to talk over this anymore.
Trills. What? But I mean, he's keeping it very tight harmonically. Like this, he could have been going crazy already. There's a lot of discipline. Like there, he's added a little sauce, but it's very pop rock, right? Very triadic. It's 1 to 2. So he was building up to something big. Hold it way back to the crazy lines.
Stupid good. Six
That's
chord.
the first
Six
little
chord.
jazz. That's the first. Now we got bebop.
A little secondary dominance happening.
He opened up the floodgate. But he kind of revealed it, right? I mean, we're 10 minutes in. Now, that's kind of the first kind of gospel-y, a little bit hint
We're
of.
about to move in a little gospel territory, R&B territory.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
That was the first actual.
Just the 2 chord to the 1 chord.
Yeah. Minor tutor.
See all the different ways we can get from one to the other.
Now he's really just like opening it up. Like the cultural landscape, right? Oh, sick.
Yeah, we're back in America.
Yeah. Yeah, a little Americana vibe. popish sort of.
I mean, it's a little bit of folky. No, it's a little bit of Beatles. Don't Let Me Down.
Beatles for sure.
You know, a
Absolutely.
little Billy Preston.
That's very much pop rock when we're thinking absolutely. What he hasn't done, what he's going to do a lot of on this record is blues.
Let me down.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm seeing why this record was so successful.
Little 5-chord.
Just killing melodies after melodies. There's some blues there.
What the what?
And he's going to start going crazy on the blues stuff. Oh, come on. Taking it out. Whole tone.
How long
Man,
is that
his
line?
left hand is friggin' locked in. Did he quantize this on that telephone kit? Oh, up to the major 7? First time. Now we're blues.
Dominant 2
4
there.
I mean, dominant 2, yes. The 5. But he was patient staying on that one. Oh. Yeah. His woos are.
He knows it.
He's on point, man. 4 to 5. Yeah, he's like the gospel and the blues. It's like now it's fully open, right?
So patient though. It's so patient.
This is like, and it's got a little bit of like New Orleans, just a touch of that New Orleans left hand. He actually pushed the tempo for the first time.
A little bit, just
a little
in the
bit.
last-
Just the
yeah.
right time, though, man. Perfect.
We're not robots out here.
No.
We're somewhere new.
Oh,
Not for long.
no. But when you've been at that other place so long, that's like, you know, like a revelation. Like a little sus.
Minor 3rd up.
That's a little Beatles harmonic movement. 3, 6 minor. Yeah.
Take us somewhere, Keith.
Yeah. I mean, it's like he plays stuff in the general, like, worldwide cultural musical landscape from before and in the future. Somehow.
Flat 6. Minor 4.
All right, I hate to do this. I hate to be the bad guy, but we have to pause it there because, I mean, should we just listen to the rest of the record?
That's cruel, Peter. That's cruel.
I'm sorry. No, we're still on the first tune.
I mean,
buddy.
this is the thing. This is why it's. First of all, can we just like shout out how amazing it is that this album is the best-selling solo piano album of all time? I mean, it's not
really fucking good.
Yeah, but it's not like he's just playing like, you know, everything's so palatable or whatever. I mean, there's craziness going on in there.
There is.
And how does he get away
But it's so
with
palatable. But it's so. I mean, it's so beautifully executed.
It is
but
beautifully
then there's
executed.
like when he goes crazy, there's always the antidote to it. It's like the groove in the left hand.
The groove is so
or the beautiful
solid.
melodies.
Yeah.
It's like that opens things up. And then even when it gets to the point where it's like, wow, this is great, but it's been vamping. Then he goes into the blue. Like he held the blues in the back pocket for longer than he does on some of the other tracks.
I guess I'm saying this is not like new age or dumbed down BS kind of music. This is like incredible, legit, amazing improvised music. And like the fact that it's so popular, I don't know what happened. But like,
I know.
Good for him. Good for you. Good for you, Keith Jarrett. Good for you.
But I mean, sometimes, you know what? I know we're going to bring this up later.
I hope he made a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. It's
I
like,
think so.
You know, solo pianists
so.
don't always make the bank. So I hope you had a good deal on that.
But look, on a certain level, this is what it is. Piano, humans love the piano. It's a popular instrument, not just to play. Like we play it.
Yeah,
but
I
people
don't
love,
feel like I played after listening to that.
no. But people love to listen to it. like it might be the most popular instrument ever in terms of, like, think about film scores. Think about like the Beatles or something. Like, yes, there's a lot of different instruments. Of course, guitar is great, drums are important. But I mean, if you're gonna have one instrument to really touch the most number of people in the world,
ChatGPT?
That's not an instrument.
Are you
that's
sure?
a tool.
I don't know.
But
People have been telling me.
But I just think that, you know, you really hear, like, he takes you on a journey. Even with this limited piano, we know that the piano can be an orchestra. Like, that's a cliche that we say all the time.
Well, I mean, he just proved it.
He just proved it, even a substandard one. And I think, like, that's why, like, you can almost think about different film scenes from beautiful filmscapes or things as he's playing these different sections. I think that's another reason people love this record, even though there's no, like, bangers on there or anything, is that, like, it can be the soundtrack to you cooking dinner or you gardening or you staring at your, you know, Macintosh amplifier, or to you making love with your spouse. It can be a lot of different things, you know?
Can I get 5 more examples, please?
All
right. Next track. Oh, actually, there is something.
Track.
If you could skip ahead, I do want to. There's a part of part 1 that I definitely don't want to miss out on.
Oh, yeah.
I call it the Harp. It starts at 1947 and kind of goes all the way to the end, but we can just listen to a little bit. I love this. This is definitely a texture that I don't recall ever being like, ooh, I'm going to steal that, but I do this.
You do
And
it.
I know it comes from this album. It has to.
This is a little bit before it. This is all still part 1. And his ability to go in and out of grooves. Was that it?
How pretty is that?
That's cinematic right there. It gives you hope for humanity, man.
It does give you hope for humanity.
Man, okay, that's so amazing. I actually think, you know, so the issue with the piano, I think what you hear there. Well, here, let me just play a little more. Listen as he plays something and the notes, something is just sustained. So when you play the piano, unlike a trumpet or a saxophone or something, we generally don't have any control over how the instrument sounds after you play a chord, or even if you play like he's doing, right?
Yeah.
But listen to how the instrument sounds when it's just being itself, because I always feel like that's the real soul of the instrument.
When it's just ringing.
Yeah, and he does that a lot.
The soundboard is the soul. You're
Yeah.
right.
Now he's playing a little bit in between there. But I'm going to take it back a little bit when he first starts playing. Hear it just ringing? So I think that's an incredible instrument, because I think, you know, when you talk about substandard, I mean, it obviously had technical difficulties and they fixed some of them, but like the soul of an instrument, even a master like Keith Jarrett can't do anything. I mean, of course he can, because it's the way that he plays it. But once it's just playing,
out,
like if it's an ugly sounding, if it's an ugly soul on that instrument, you would hear that. So I think he was able to harness it and to get over like only a master can, because a lot of people are like, oh, there's no way I could do anything. Well, he did it.
Yeah, you know, when we do our YouTube videos on our Steinway B over here, we get a lot of comments on how great the piano sounds. And it is our amazing engineer, Sam, and Caleb has done a lot of these as well. But it just not a great soundboard on the iRig.
You hear that? The soul of this is not great.
But the soul of our Steinway gets a lot of credit on that. And just like this, I also think too, what you're hearing there is a little bit of the Hall. Like the Hall
for sure.
is definitely making that
Man, and the humans in the hall.
And the humans.
I know
in
I'm
the
getting a
hall
little wishy-washy, ticky-tacky, but
no, it's true.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
true.
because you know how many times have we been in a sound check and we play? We're like, man, this hall sounds weird.
Yeah, I mean, you get
And then
1,400, 180-pound bags of water in the.
Don't call Germans bags of water, sir.
It's all human beings. You know what I mean? But that's what you. That's
No,
the
for
equivalent of it. Is you get
Exactly.
1,400 of those big bags of water in there, and it's going to change the sound of the hall.
Yeah,
For sure. No, I love that part, and I love the harp part, and I mean the whole part one is pretty incredible.
It's pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
So you like it? All right, so we jump into number 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I love the title. Did you come up with what you call the beginning of
I call it
this?
Morning in America because it reminds me of those Reagan ads. No, so I want to talk about this though.
First of all,
because
you know Köln is not in America, just so you know.
I do, but there's
Okay.
a lot of American music going on in this concert. Let's be honest.
That's
there's
true.
a lot of American
Yeah.
music. Keith Jarrett is famously American, and he plays.
He's from
in a-
Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I know it's
Is it
very.
getting
That's
more
a very
American?
American town, and he's very much an American musician, and we're grateful for him. But I want to just throw this out there. I was not alive on Earth during this time, so please put in the comments. Like
I was.
To me, I don't hear any other music in 1975 or before 1975, I guess, that sounds like this. But I hear a lot of music in the 80s that sounds like part 2, especially the beginning.
Oh, good.
Right?
I've got some examples. I want you to
Yeah.
evaluate.
Like to me, I'm like, when I think about why this album? Why did this, outsell every other solo piano album? 4 million is an insane amount of album sales for a solo piano improvised concert.
Yeah.
Why? And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there was a lot of music that sounded like what he's about to play here.
Right.
If you think about what's going on in popular music around this time, you've got Still Crazy After All These Years winning Album of the Year. You got Songs in the Key of Life winning Album of the Year, and Stevie before that with Intervisions before.
Highly crafted and produced records.
Highly crafted and produced records, but just musically with the pedal point that's about to happen and all the things going around it. To me, it sounds like, it sounds like soundtracks to 80s films that I like, which is not going to happen for another 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
So if we could start part 2, I think you'll get the idea right away.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Soundtrack to The Firm, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this little ostinato, which is the left-hand thing.
But I don't know. I could be wrong. And please, in the comments, for our people who are around, like, who else was playing music like this in 1975? 'Cause I don't...
Sorry. That wasn't adding anything. So that ostinato, that's the thing that's so influential on pianists. They can't do it like that, but they try. Ooh, that beat, that groove. D major, that was a good choice for this cut too. It's a very optimistic Morning in America.
I mean, the closest that I can think of is maybe like some Billy Joel.
Billy Joel for sure.
But, like,
yeah. But was Billy Joel like
Not
checking
doing
this out?
Yeah, that's The Stranger a little bit late.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
But is it that? Yeah, I don't think Billy Joel like referenced this, but I think it's like Keith is tapping into the same place, maybe. You know. And the 1-4, that's got so many connections. Church music, gospel.
I can hear
blues.
a little bit of like Genesis Foxtrot, which would have been around this time. But I don't know. I don't know if Keith is listening to that.
All right, so now he went straight into the blue. Like everything was.
Well, this is like the Dave Grusin thing I was talking about.
Yeah. Just so you know, Dave Grusin wasn't doing this yet at that time. Well, no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Hornsby, Grusin.
Right. But you know what's interesting? The way that Keith put this together, like he went 2 minutes and it was all like major, 1-4. And so like he sets up expectation with the listener. So then when he throws that blues in there, it's like, woo, you know. And that perfection on that ostinato. I mean, shit is free, right?
Think how ostinato is locked
Now
in.
he can get weird, right? He can go Cecil Taylor on your ass.
Yeah, no one else is doing that either. No one else can do that.
Yeah. Booty. Nice sneaking down a little bit. Doo-doo-doo-ding. Put that melody in the left hand.
Hey,
Woo. Now we get just stanky face. I mean, this is just 1 to 4. How many hands does he have? Was Manfred up there playing with him? Vera?
it sounds like a four-handed
Yeah.
pianist, doesn't it? Vera, is Vera up there?
He's the promoter, you know. You got.
Hey,
And then he throws in a little bit of major 7 to give it like Back to the Morning in America, right? But you know what I mean? So check this out. We're going to talk now while this beautiful music, which I know we're not supposed to do, but it kind of works. I think part of the success of this record, and this is a great part here, is that, did we talk about this already? Passive versus active?
talked about it,
Oh,
yeah.
we did talk about it.
yeah, I'm just gauging how much offense to take
Well,
from it.
no, but it's not like this is the rare. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think that this record, especially certain parts of it, can be in the background more. Most great records, like I don't want them. I either want them on or off.
It's kind
but like
of-
this can kind of work.
It's kind of unbelievably palatable at any level. You're
Yeah.
right. You're absolutely right.
Now we have our favorite moments where it's
It's-
kind of like, oh, I want to jump back in there. Of course,
It's a little Eno-esque in that.
Yeah.
You could listen very closely and enjoy it, and it could also,
yeah.
I hate to use the wallpaper terminology, but like, it also just sounds good in any space and makes it better. But obviously, this was recorded as like as a concert that you're meant to like be in there and present with it. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's like if you go into a hotel, like they used to have pianists in every hotel bar, right? They're playing in the background. People love to hear piano in the back. This is like the greatest solo piano in a hotel you could ever. I mean, but this is the thing. People will be like, oh my God, that's Keith Jarrett. But if you didn't know it, you'd be like, wow, it sounds great. Anyway, how you doing? Oh, wait, check that out. Like you'd be back and forth. You'd be rewarded for it. And by this, I'm talking about the record. I'm not talking about if we were at the gig, we would be talking to each other like this. You know what I mean? Because we know we can come back and enjoy it. So, I don't know. I'm going to get some shade on this, but Adam told me to say it. So there's that.
Did you just say Adam told me to say it?
I'm just seeing if you're paying attention.
Hey.
So then he gets into some great weird stuff there.
Hey, stand behind your own hot takes here, buddy.
Okay, so you mentioned The Firm. I love that soundtrack.
Dude.
I love that movie. Shout out Gene Hackman.
Wilford Brimley, you kidding me?
The Oates guy, he went off the rails, man.
Damn.
Big shout out Dave Grusin.
Shout out to Tom Cruise doing back handsprings. Not
That's
really
right.
him. Yeah.
90s. I'm going to take you back to a little place called the 90s.
All right.
Early.
Is this Köln Concert?
No, it's not. This is a Yamaha. This is not a Bosendorfer.
But the vibes, right?
Kill it.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
has a bit of this flavor.
Absolutely. That's why I'm playing it. Woo. It's a great one. The whole soundtrack is just piano.
Dude,
Just
we
Dave
should
Grusin.
we should do an episode on the Firm soundtrack.
This is one of the best soundtracks ever.
Yeah, Dave Grusin.
And this is
crushing.
no shade on Dave Grusin, but man, just kill it. But he recorded that on a disc clavier, I believe.
No.
And he laid down the different parts and then added them on and stuff. You
Damn.
know,
They had those in 1991.
Yeah, I think so. Damn. Yeah. But yeah, that's fantastic. Dave Grusin, The Firm, main title. Okay, so we're
That's
talking
a good
about...
pull, Peter. Good pull.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because you mentioned because I was...
I think and I could be wrong about this. This could be my own ignorance about music around this time, but to me, it just sounds like it's a little bit prophetic, especially that part 2 of Dave Grusin.
Yeah.
Of like all those GRP late 80s albums too, even. Like David Benoit has some of this feel, but it's certainly like Bruce Hornsby or...
Well, Bruce Hornsby.
Bruce Hornsby.
Glad you mentioned him.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying all these musicians are their own artists and make incredible music, but I feel like there is an influence.
But does this
there.
kind of Bruce Hornsby playing exist without Köln concerts and that kind of thing?
That's a good question.
Does it not lead to there?
Man, what a great musician.
Yeah, fantastic. He's great. I actually got a chance to work with him once.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Super nice cat too. Loves jazz. Yeah, and even...
Some of the best pop piano ever on Bonnie Raitt's I Can't Make You Love Me.
Oh, absolutely.
Hornsby crushing. Absolutely crushing.
Yep. Does this exist without Köln concerts? It's your boy, friend of the pod.
Brad Mehldau?
Brad Mehldau.
Yeah.
Especially that kind of thing there. From Your Mother Should Know. Just from a couple years ago.
The Beatles thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Golden Slumbers. I love this track. He's killing it.
Shout out to Brad's new album, all with Elliott Smith music. If you haven't checked it out, go listen to Brad's new album.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable. We should listen to that. We should listen to that and Cecile's new album, by the way.
Sure.
Just putting it out there.
For sure. Okay, we're going to listen to a little more, but we brought up before, I mean, I kind of, as we were listening to part 1 even, was talking about, like, obviously we can't say this is a jazz record, this is a classical record, whatever. But I was just jotting down some different styles. But I want you to go first because I feel like I missed them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I heard in just the first 2 parts of this. I know you hate genres, but if forced into a corner where you'd have to name some genres.
I mean, there's church music of all kinds. And by all kinds, I mean there's like Lutheran church music.
Yeah.
And there's gospel music, like Black American gospel music in there as well.
CCM?
There's CCM vibes. I mean, I think CCM pulled from this probably and maybe like several generations later. Yeah. Obviously, there's jazz. Obviously, we heard bebop. We also heard some
But jazz is not I would not say this is a jazz record, oddly enough.
Well, what is jazz?
No, use your AM voice.
What is jazz? What is Cologne even?
Where is Cologne?
Where is Cologne? Where is that in?
Where are we?
Is that in Prussia? Where are we going?
Prussia.
Hey.
I remember back in those days. Yeah, so I mean, jazz for sure, but not, I mean, I would say if I was forced into a corner, so I've got, church, gospel, CCM. I didn't even have those, which is stupid. I've still got other ones. Jazz, blues, classical, kind of world music.
I think you could put ambient music in there.
Ambient.
Like we mentioned the Brian Eno thing.
Yeah.
There's some of that.
Yeah.
There's some of that.
Folk.
100%.
Rock or pop.
100%. Like I think the closest
like
thing.
70s, early 70s
The closest thing to this sound that I'm talking about that then we mentioned like Grusin kind of has the same thing. The closest thing I can think of would be like, like the Eagles or like folk rock. You know what I mean?
Bob Seger?
But with strumming guitars, right? That's what he's like what he's evoking.
Ooh, and then leading to like Doobie Brothers kind of. That's not early 80s stuff, right?
That's it's hard because like this is such a popular album.
Yeah.
You got to think all these people heard it.
Right.
And we're into it.
Right. Americana, whatever that is. I wrote that down. But this is the thing. I would say if you had to push it into a category, like Apple Music and stuff always does, I'd say between jazz and classical, I almost think this is more of an improvised classical record. Maybe I'm just going off of the Köln.
I don't think so. Just because all the music
it's not a jazz record, though.
Well, but it's not a classical record. And because all the music he's pulling from is like American folk music, basically.
But classical can do that.
Yeah, but it's not. But that's not.
It's in an opera house. Okay.
Anyway. No.
All right.
Agree to disagree.
Now, should we move on?
You're Jakar, I'm cool water. Go ahead.
Should we go to part 2B? Why did they call it that?
What a
That's
name.
the third track.
What a name
the
for
third
a track.
Part.
Sure.
Okay, this is my...
Is this good?
It's very good. This is my least favorite of the three parts, which is weird because it's really just one concert, as we say. But because it was presented in this way as on the LP, we do consume it, I think, as three separate segments, right?
Yeah.
And then but yeah, I think this is the most kind of vamping that I feel like we could definitely have a conversation over. You know, I don't want to start. I mean, it's incredible.
I want to shout out too, like we talk about the vamps,
Yeah.
the melodies.
The melodies, right?
Amazing.
This is kind of, it's to F sharp minor, not my favorite key. I know I'm picky, but. I just feel like this is the longest on this record where he wasn't. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, it is good.
It's just the longest where he's not really going somewhere. I mean, he's going somewhere, of course. Look. Actually, I love this. Change. Like we're a minute in. We're a minute and a half in, right?
All right, it's great.
That was a little hint of major, right? He's bringing the blues back to save it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so this is great still, but isn't it maybe a little bit, it's a little bit.
I mean, in a way, it's just
like 5.5 to 7 minutes of this.
It's what happened, you know?
Right, it is.
What happened.
And I think that's the thing. This might be the thing in the context of being at the concert, experiencing this. You might have needed this time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's killing it still. But I mean, this ability to just continue that bass line so well.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
and actually, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit if I can figure out how to do that on. Yeah, because he starts to really get into some stuff.
Hey.
To do all that stuff while you're keeping that bass line going for 3.5 minutes now, that's hard. With that intensity. But yeah, the main variation he brings on this is that occasional, that minor to major blues thing. And then a lot of ALLLL on this. I'm not a huge ALLLL guy. I like Dorian. Sue me. A lot of ALLLL. But that's a drone.
You're not
right?
messing with the natural minor, man?
I don't be messing with no, I do. But I mean, he's stuck on that.
Pretty crazy how free he is with his right hand.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead a little more. Now I hate to do this. We're past 5 minutes now. He's still on that. We've been to F sharp minor over 5 minutes. You'd think it might go, if it's going to go major, it's going to go relative major. But it goes to the related major. Not yet. Down to the D, right? Slow sharp 11 action, but then right back to that
But
minor.
see, now, because
But that's a long time,
because he's
right?
messing with the Aeolian, that D feels very powerful.
It does.
Doesn't work if he's
Think he
doing
was
F
thinking
sharp
about that
Dorian.
already? Right.
You know?
Yeah. He was planning ahead. Yeah, so that's part 2B. There's obviously much more. He starts really going in there. It's fantastic. But it's just a lot.
And that was
5
like
minutes
the
of
last
action.
piece on the concert,
Yeah.
right?
But it goes on a whole journey.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's just it's this whole thing.
So, but there's one more track on the album, which was, I guess, the encore?
Yes. So this
one's interesting.
Yeah, and you can kind of hear, I need to pull it back up, like boom, 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 boom. Here we're moving, my friend, big guy. Okay, so part 2B, which we just listened to the beginning of as it got into, at the end, they're going into clapping, right? Big applause, 1,400 people, right?
It's a big,
Yeah. And then
big
he comes
audience
back
for one
out.
little piano.
That's right. And goes, sits down and does this. Part 2C.
I mean, some Brad Meldau vibes for sure.
Yeah. So this beautiful song that he composed, and he has taken a lot of liberties with it, but Memories of Tomorrow, that he composed like 10 years before this,
Yeah.
supposedly, or maybe more, when he was at Berkeley.
By the way, when I say Brad Meldau vibes, I mean, it's obvious Brad's influenced
Yeah.
by Keith, not
Right, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Because Brad would have been 5 years old.
Yeah, it would have
That's
been
right.
just a child.
But yeah, the interesting thing about this, yeah, he supposedly wrote it when he was at Berkeley, so that would have been like 12 years
So this isn't
before.
an improvised melody.
No,
This is
he's
like a
improvising on
tune.
it.
This
Right.
is in the real book.
This is in the real book, which I always thought was weird because I never made the connection. I remember seeing that years ago. But if you check this out, he recorded this actually in 1969, or there's a recording of it from a live trio recording with Paul Motion, and I'm not sure who's on drums. This is 6 years before. Keith Jarrett on piano, of course.
So Paul Motion on drums, who's on bass? We don't know who's on bass.
It might be Charlie Hayden. Definitely Paul Motion.
Wow.
That's the tune, right?
Crazy.
But it's interesting, called Memories of Tomorrow, because remember before I said it's like Keith's stuff sounds like these influences from before, and then we can find influences from the future somehow on him.
yeah.
So maybe it was some memories of tomorrow.
All right, well, let's get to some categories then. What is how do we even do Desert Island tracks on a 20?
Oh, that's easy. That's part 2A. Don't you love part 2A?
I
also
do.
known as part 2.
I do love part 2A for sure. But I'm going to put part 1 specifically from 9 minutes and 44 seconds on what I call the big groove.
I'm sorry, by part 1, do you mean Köln, January 24th, 1975, part 1?
That's the track. Yeah, that banger. I mean, you can easily find that in a jukebox.
Okay.
Yeah, but that section from 944, which we already listened to, which is we were calling the big groove, I think is my favorite. And you like part 2A.
I love part 2A.
Morning in America, that's what I call it.
I mean, where it goes.
That's not disrespectful.
Morning in America.
It just reminds me
Ronald
of
Reagan, Morning in America.
It's fresh, it's the early 80s.
George Bush, the older one.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get to Apex moments.
Okay.
Okay, so mine, I just referred to this as, this is worse than Morning in America. The long ass line in part 1 at 11:38. He plays a 14-second melodic line. Can I play it for you, my friend?
Yeah.
Okay, 11:38. Queuing it up, iPad activated. So I'm going to tell you when it starts. I'm going to put my hand down. Here it is. was 14 seconds, my friend.
That is insane. That's absolutely crazy.
Let me just do it again. I want to lead into it a little bit better. But that's crazy, man. And he's playing a bunch of great stuff. I've always like this stuff before is so great, but this one. It's pretty good.
Jeez Louise. You know, I'm gonna amend my Apex moment to I wanna honor the original source of this category. So we might have borrowed this category from the Rewatchables podcast from the great incredible Ringer Network. Shout out Bill Simmons. But they have a category called Apex Mountain, which is really all about like
totally different, totally unrelated. But it actually is kind of different because their Apex Mountain is like, is this the peak? Like the amount of juice that this artist had, right? Whether it's the director or the actors, one of the actors, or even, if it's like the city of Cleveland or something. Yeah. I'm going to say that this album is Keith Jarrett's sort of Apex Mountain. I think it is like, this is the crest of the wave of his, not just popularity, but like, I mean, if you think about everything he was making, not just this concert, but this is close to like Treasure Island, one of my favorite albums, that whole run where he's making original music and there's the European group and the American group and like not that he's Belonging had dropped already, I believe.
He's been such a prolific artist. I love the Standards Trio. Yeah. Some of my favorite albums. But I really think that 1975 here, he's almost 30. He is playing, he's always played so incredibly, but I think he's really found with this album his sound and his power. And like, I think what's one of the reasons why this album is probably his most popular album and one of the most popular albums in the history of jazz is because of he is really at the peak of his powers, and it just happens to just like collide culturally with everything that's going on. Yeah. And that's a real gift for an artist. Yes. And I think that's happening here.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. So your moment is 1975. Yeah. Or Keith.
Keith in 1975 is my Apex moment.
Good.
Bespoke playlist. What do you got?
Albums your dad's Macintosh were born for.
Oh, perfect.
Not
Macintosh computer.
No, Macintosh with a
tube amp.
With a tube amp. Exactly.
I'm gonna go with turtlenecks and blazers. turtlenecks, and which is, by the way, a combo I love to wear.
That's right.
Quibble bits. What do you got?
There's a lot of vamps. I love the vamps, though. I love
the vamps.
But like the F sharp minor was a lot at the beginning of part 2. But again, in the context of the whole thing, it's just such a weird kind of record to compare to what we normally do, where it's like track by track or like a kind of journey. This is really a moment captured, a concert with the lore and everything attached. But if anything, it's a lot of. But you know what? If it didn't have as many vamps, I wouldn't like it as much. So
yeah, that's really the only thing I can think of that. It's not even, it's such a small quibble. Yeah. It's a bit of a quibble.
Oh, and that beautiful 14-second line that he did, he played one little wrong note in the middle, but most people wouldn't notice
very quibble.
That's my little quibble.
Snobometer, how snobby is this album? Is it a 1, not snobby, or is it a 10, very snobby?
This is a classic 5, I'm going to say.
They all are.
No. Well, that's maybe so, but I evaluate each one. It is both, look, it's the least snobby ever because it's the best-selling record, you would say. But it's also, like you said, turtlenecks and blazers. Like the ultimate snob. If you're a classical snob with a Macintosh tube amplifier still today and a cigarette with,
I get that.
You're going to be, and this is your one jazz record or your one solo piano record, it's going to be this.
I got it at a 3. I think it's a little...
That means nothing.
No, it doesn't mean nothing. It means it's a little less snobby than you're putting it. I think it's pretty accessible. Obviously, it sold 4 million copies, but you're right. The turtlenecks and blazers, the long skinny cigarettes, the cologne, the whole thing. Is it better than Kinda Blue?
Maybe. I'm gonna go. Okay, maybe let me qualify it.
Every snobometer is 5. Every kind of better than Kinda Blue is maybe.
Okay, this is a great record, man. This is a fantastic record. I'm gonna say if it's a straight, is it better than KOB? No, but the more interesting comparison, I think, would be, is this record better than Facing You? Some of our great listeners have started to put comments saying, maybe we shouldn't compare everything. Like when we do What's Going On or Voodoo or Rumors or something, like why are we comparing it to Kind of Blue?
Why not?
Well, because they're different types of things.
They're works of art.
They are, but they're not like... like that's so apples and oranges. Whereas you could say Facing You and this, it's the same artist, solo piano. Is it better than Facing You? Maybe.
I think no, it's not better than Kinda Blue, and I think honestly, no, it's not better for me than Facing You.
Okay.
Yeah.
Accoutrements.
And I think for the category itself about changing the album, I think we could definitely do that. But also, I mean, it's
gotten us to silver level.
It's just a little fun, isn't it? It's just a little fun.
Of course. All this is fun.
Accoutrements.
I'm going 10 on this one. A rare 10.
It's really good.
But I mean, there's like, it's so iconic. It's, first of all, this and the inside pictures on the LP, none of these were from they're not actually from Cologne. They were from the same year. This
not from the concert itself. That's why I actually have it as a 9. They're beautiful, but it's not from the concert.
Well, who cares?
I mean, I care.
This is from, would you rather that picture be on there? This is the only picture that exists.
Wow.
Shout out to the YouTuber that I screen grabbed this from the actual. He doesn't look happy there. He's playing happy though. But I mean, but on its own, is there anything with that design that does not speak class?
It's beautiful.
All class,
it's
no
really,
ass.
Really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said 9. That's like my 5.
I said 9.
Okay. Up next, what do you got?
I've got the Firm soundtrack.
The Firm. Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be.
It's a little more bluesy. There's a little more like New Orleans in it.
It might feel like a little bit of a letdown though. I don't know. Because it's a different era. Different era.
Yeah. It's you know, it's 16 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's great. I've got actually Chick Corea's Return to Forever, which I had to check this. This was actually, that was recorded before Köln Concert, which I was like, what? And of course, is ECM as well.
It's a great call.
I believe it came out in I always like to get ones they came out. And that was a big record for ECM, but not as big as this one, and not as quickly, I believe.
Yeah.
But was huge, you know.
I think it
stylistically
really
very different. But one of the other 70s greatest, I mean, what are we talking about? What's the trilogy? What's the quartet of great jazz pianists in the 70s? Keith Jarrett, Chick Corea, Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
McCoy Tyner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Return to Forever is more of like a turtleneck cardigan, but yeah.
Yeah. Cardigan. Great. All right. Man, I think are we sneaking up on Black Friday time now?
It's about Black Friday time.
Yeah. So, you know, this podcast is free, so Black Friday doesn't apply. But is it free?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not free.
No, there's
Are we running
GALA.
a special? We are not running a special for Black Friday for the podcast. We are for Open Studio.
Yes.
Tell them about the podcast first, though.
Well, the podcast, tell them about what?
We're not running a special.
They just listen to it.
But they got to pay now.
They got to pay.
Pay up.
Yeah.
Pay up. How will they do that?
They can leave a comment or a rating or a review wherever they are listening to this podcast.
Why are you looking at me weird, man?
I'm trying to decide where you're leading me into this promo.
This is an improvised, this is like the Köln Concert podcast.
They can tell.
Yeah, please leave us a rating or review or just a comment on YouTube.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel. You know what I found out? I've been seeing these YouTubers say this. 70% of our YouTube watchers are not subscribed to the channel. Actually, I don't know. I haven't checked. But some of my YouTubers that I looked at say things. Rick Beato's always quoting that.
I mean, if you are watching these episodes every week, why not subscribe?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free, yeah.
Come on now.
But at Open Studio, which is the sponsor, the title
It's the only sponsor we got here.
It's the only sponsor. It's a beautiful sponsor.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful sponsor.
It's Morning in America.
Morning in America. Open Studio Jazz, all we're going to say is if you've been thinking about joining, do it now because...
It's morning and then it's like 2:15 and everybody's a little drunk.
Join before December 1st because this is famously our best price. We only offer this once a year.
Yeah, Black Friday is the
It's
only
our best price of the year. We love welcoming people in, especially on the annual plan, which we have at a huge, beautiful discount. Just go to Open Studio. I'm not using that word anymore, beautiful. Wonderful. I'm going to say that. I'll tell you why afterwards. But go to openstudiojazz.com.
Would you say it's a big, beautiful discount?
I'm not saying that. Go to openstudiojazz.com for our largest, or also known as our
biggest
discount and deal of the year, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Go there now.
I mean, if you've been on the fence about joining Open Studio, if you want to nerd out full time and get into some of the nuts and bolts of what we're listening to here.
And it's not only we're not just doing courses on how to play like Keith Jarrett on Facing You, although that might be coming. I'm just saying. But we have some wonderful beginner courses. We're actually more beginner focused. People think it's all nerds, all advanced nerds. It's some advanced nerds, mostly beginner nerds. No, and I consider myself one of the advanced nerds. But we have beginners, we have intermediate, we have beautiful things.
Till next time.
You'll hear it.